Ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome everyone to another episode of Transcend with M, powered by VRC Insurance. And today is a very, very special episode with
That's okay. That's okay. I'm glad I saw that because I was going to ask you how many takes do we get?
Yeah. No, it's all good. I'm gonna start all over again. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Transcend with M, powered by VRC Insurance. And today is a very special day because we have with us Dr. Terika Smith. And she is the author of this amazing book, Mi Dios Nuestro Plan, and also The Day That I Sat Down, which is coming up in May. So welcome, Dr. Terika. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me here.
No, thank you for the opportunity because I feel that today we're going to be enlightened with a lot of things that we probably were not expecting. So welcome one more time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. So do you prefer to be called Dr. Terika? Do you Terika, Dr. Smith? How do you want me to go about this?
Terika is perfectly
Terika.
Fine.
Perfect.
Thank
Perfect. So, Terika,
Yes.
tell me your story.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me your beginnings. How are we sitting here today?
Wow. That's a very big question.
It should take about 25 minutes.
Well, it could take a little bit longer. I am from Jamaica, and my family migrated to the U.S. in, I won't say when because that will date me.
That's
And we're
funny.
not here to do that.
But that's okay. That's okay.
I'm here via Illinois. So we migrated to Illinois from Jamaica, and then I came to Massachusetts in 2006, and have been here since. I came actually to be an educator, a building principal, and the Lord just kind of changed my whole life around.
Okay.
But about me, I am mother, wife, pastor, teacher, educator, just blessed. There's
Yeah.
so much I could tell you about who I am. Above all, I'm passionate about just being used by God for anything He puts me in, any direction He sends me on. And one of those is the book that you have, which is, I think, my fourth book
Yeah.
that I have written. And all of them are to inspire, encourage, challenge, and motivate, all at the same time.
Fantastic. So, take me back to that immigration story. How did that shape who you are today?
A lot. In Jamaica, we grew up on the military base. So we grew up pretty spoiled and well cared for, and kind of in a community where you didn't experience anything beyond the confines of the military base.
Okay.
So when we migrated to the U.S., it was really a shock. It was a culture shock in many ways because Jamaicans do speak English, but we speak patois as well, which is English Creole. And so when we migrated, the biggest challenge for us and for myself was acclimating to the American school system.
Yeah.
And just understanding how to navigate the waters and being a kid who really had never experienced prejudices, had never experienced discrimination, had never experienced bullying, had never experienced any of the challenges that we had to experience in Illinois when we migrated. It was quite a journey. And in fact, it kind of forced me to choose to be me, as opposed to forgetting who I was, forgetting where I came from, my foundation. Yeah, so many people migrate here and get lost.
Yeah.
And so my journey in coming with my parents and my siblings allowed us to love each other more, love self more, and appreciate that we were here on a mission. My parents made it clear to us coming to the U.S. that we were not coming here to not do anything. That every one of their kids, all four of us, the expectation was you had to go to school. The expectation was you had to do something with your life. The expectation was that you never forget who you are or who you were. So the journey was quite interesting. Was I bullied? Yeah. Did I go into cocoons? Yeah, I went into shells. In fact, I was already an introvert. I became an even greater introvert coming to this country, which is the country that exposes you, but it actually can really lock you into a corner.
Yeah.
And so the journey, it's gone in so many different directions, but it's been the best painful experience I've had.
Fantastic. I think a lot of people don't understand, and I talk about this in another podcast I did recently, that, even though we come here fully educated, we fully aware.
Absolutely.
We come here speaking the language, doing all these things. There is still that sentiment where, for example, in Puerto Rico, where I'm from, we come on all shapes, colors, that prejudice doesn't exist. And people don't believe me when I say, I really didn't know what racism was until I got here.
Yeah.
And people don't believe me, but I have to tell them it is true. I've never spoke about that in my house. It was never spoken about in school, and it's really difficult to cope when you come here, regardless of age. I came here when I was 21 or 20. I don't remember. And I'm not going to date myself.
There you go.
But, I've been here for quite some time.
Don't date yourself.
Don't date myself. And at that age, I remember I was in the middle of my first snowstorm driving. And I called my father. And, regardless of my husband and everything, my job, and all I remember was crying with him for an hour, stuck in traffic, saying, I just want to go home. This is not home.
Yeah.
I just want to go home. And it lasted for a very long time. I didn't feel home for a very long time. Now, over 18 years later, it's been a little bit over that. I can say I am home. Home is here, home is there. But it was quite the journey to kind of understand, who I was here. And when you mention, a lot of people get lost. Sometimes we do that unconsciously. Because we're forced to become. And you don't know what that means until you have a big aha moment, right? So I am happy that, the four of you have accomplished your parents' wishes. And I think at the same time, our parents can have wishes for us, but in the long term, as we continue to grow, we forge our own dreams, right? So they become ours.
Absolutely.
So, Terika, tell me a little bit. It's very interesting. You are an educator. You're also a pastor. You help many women. How did you become all of those things? Did it ever occur to you that you will become who you are today?
No, that wasn't my plan.
Okay. What was your plan? Tell me your original plan. And then tell me the plan that one had for you.
Okay. Well, I before I do, as you were speaking, the two terms that just kept resonating with me were acculturation and assimilation. And when you come to this country, you either acculturate or you assimilate. And one of the things I believe I can give God thanks for is I acculturated and I didn't assimilate, because acculturation means you maintain who you are. I'm Jamaican, period. And so I maintain that, but I am American citizen.
Yeah.
So I did not lose my identity in that sense. So that for me is one of the anchor points that I have. So to answer your question, I have always been passionate about cultures. I think because when I came to this country, my only two friends, one was Haitian and one was Mexican.
Okay.
To this day.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
We're not Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Jamaicans, in fact, shunned me. And that's because at that point, Jamaicans did not want to be identified as Jamaicans. They wanted to be Americans.
Yeah.
So my growth path was always cultures. And then I started to study Spanish.
Yeah.
So it was the Latin culture.
Yes.
And I didn't understand why until my dad taught us or told us that our grandmother, his mother, was Panamanian. So we never met her. She died when he was younger, but it's in my blood. So the passion is there for cultures.
Yeah.
So I always saw myself as an international lawyer focusing on Latin American and Caribbean countries. I would travel the world. I would really focus on those countries. I studied their history. I studied their culture. I studied the language. I was gone. I saw myself graduating undergrad at U of I in Urbana-Champaign and just going off to law school. And then I would travel the world.
Yes.
I didn't do that. I remember my junior year, I was also a track athlete, so I was doing sports at the university as well as studying, and I was majoring in international relations because I said I would graduate and
go to law school
because that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And my mom called me.
Yeah.
And I can remember walking through the quad, and she said, "Baby, I was talking." She's an educator.
Yeah.
I was talking with colleagues of mine, and I really think you should take on education. Mom, I'm not doing that. That's not what I want to do. I literally said just like that.
Yeah.
And as soon as I hung up, I went to my dean's office.
And change your major. Oh, yeah.
I did not change it. I said, what do I need to do to get a degree in education? You have two choices. You can do a double major or a double degree. If you do a double degree, you'd have to go an additional year.
Yeah.
I went an additional year.
Wow. Wow.
So I graduated with my degree in international relations and education, teaching of Spanish. And so I graduated and I started teaching. Not because I wanted to, but because that was a door that the Lord opened.
Yeah.
I was competing. To God be the glory, I was a very good athlete. And so I was competing in a national competition, and there was a teacher at a school in Illinois, and he saw me and he knew what I was majoring in, and I was hired before I even did my student teaching.
Amazing.
In that community. In fact, every job I've had up until coming to Massachusetts, God gave. I never applied.
Wow.
He gave me that job as a teacher before, and then 4 years into it, I said, I'm not going to remain as a teacher. I'm quitting. This is not for me. I'm leaving this. I was a teacher and I was a track coach. I'm going off to law school. And I resigned.
Okay.
I let the principal know I'm leaving. And then my students heard, and I remember one in particular. She said, Miss Smith, what you did for me changed my life. Please don't quit education. I'm like, oh God, you kidding me?
Those are the ones that
Those are the ones.
get to your heart, that dagger.
Yes. And then others came and said the same thing. So I had already decided I was no longer going to be teaching. I was no longer going to be coaching, at least not there.
Yeah.
Halftime during the Bulls playoff, I remember clearly Dr. Olson, the superintendent at the time of my former high school, called me at home. Said, I heard you left your job. We would love to have you work here. I'm not looking.
I want to go to law school. Don't you guys understand?
Yes. So and as, I'm not sure if you know about education, but we have tenure.
Yes.
So after 2 years, you get tenure. So
Right.
basically your job is secure.
Right.
I walked away from that. And he's offering, well, I will match you, bring you on. You can just do a year. And if you don't want to, go off to law school.
Yeah. Did you took the leap and went there?
I went there, my
Okay.
alma mater. I started the process all over again. Again, I was offered tenure. And I was coaching as well. And then 3 years in, I said, this is not for me. I have to go to law school. So I started studying for the LSAT. I looked into schools. I applied. And my mom, again. Now, this is all God doing this, but I'm looking at it as just they're interfering. But it's just God setting me up.
Yeah.
And again, she knocks on and she says, I'm going to go for my doctorate. Why don't you do it with me?
Okay. That's different.
I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on doing anything beyond the bachelor's. So I finished my master's, not because I planned on it. It just happened. Taking classes here, taking classes there. And then my mom invited me. And Mom, I know I want to go to law school. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And God is using my mom this whole time. And so we both applied together for the PhD program. And my dad says, you're not doing it, to my mom. He told her, you're not doing it. And the reason he told her is because he typed all of her papers that she wrote.
So he had the doctor's degree, not her.
He typed the papers for her bachelor's. He typed the papers for her master's. She hand wrote them, gave it to him. And back then it was a typewriter.
Yeah. So you know.
And he doesn't type like
there
this.
is no plagiarism.
No,
right?
no plagiarism. So he typed like this. All of her papers. This is how he typed.
Oh my goodness.
So he said, I'm not doing this. No, let her go. You're done. Long story.
Oh my God.
Long story
That's so
short,
funny.
right?
It's like you're not putting me through 4 more years so I can finish your doctorate degree.
Exactly. So the long story short.
That's sacrifice. That's marriage right there.
That is marriage.
That is marriage.
That is
right
marriage.
There.
That is marriage. So I was backing out, and then again the superintendents, just strategic people along the way that God has placed in my path. And the superintendent comes to me again, and he said to me, I heard you're applying for the doctorate, and that's my alma mater, and I can put a good word in. And I'm looking at him like, I'm not looking to do this. And he said, just apply. So I applied. I was rejected.
Okay.
I was turned down. I went to the interview. It was a panel, I believe, of 6 that interviewed me for the doctoral program. And I walked away and they said no. And I was fine. I was fine. That was the best no, I thought.
Right.
And he inquired as to why they said no. So he asked some people who he knew. And he said, and they told him they know nothing about me. When I interviewed, I did not tell them who I was or what I did.
Okay.
I kept it very short, very simple, very basic.
Yeah.
To the point where they thought, how could she become a doctor in administration?
There was no story.
Because there was a school superintendency. The value of the story, right?
Yes.
And so he approached me and he said, why didn't you tell them all of what you do? And I said, Dr. Olson, I never talk about myself. No one has ever asked me to talk about myself.
Right.
Not like this. And so that's uncomfortable for me. He said, Terika, just tell them a little bit. Tell them about the plays that you wrote, because I used to write and produce plays.
Okay.
I used to lead the multicultural group. I did staff development.
Yeah.
I led curriculum development. I did so many things in the school. Plus, I was the assistant athletic director. There was a lot that I did, but I didn't talk about. And so he said, go back again. And I said, Dr. Olson, they already said no. He said, sometimes you do track and field, right? I said, yeah. He said, sometimes you need someone to hold your hands to get over the hurdle.
Yeah.
Even though you know how to do things, let me hold your hand over this. I will mentor you. And God just giving me favor, and I could not see the favor. And so long story short, I went back. I told the story, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
But it was enough. I got into the doctoral program. And 6 years later, I graduated.
Congratulations.
Amen. Amen. So that's, it was not at all what I set out to do. I sometimes still, for a long time, had the desire. But I see now how God has really allowed me to become an international advocate in a simple way.
Right.
Because everyone that I serve is multicultural. And even the church, it's Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, very few English speakers.
Yeah.
So everywhere I've traveled, it's Latino. For the most part. The majority of the countries that I've traveled to are Latino of some sort, whether it's Spanish or Portuguese.
Yeah.
So I see that what I set out to do, I did not accomplish it. I accomplished what God established for me to accomplish.
Exactly.
And it took me a while to see that and give up the law school desire.
Do you still think sometimes that you should go to law school? Or not anymore?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to. But really, no.
No.
I'm okay. I'm okay because I'm a greater advocate now. For me, ministry that's the best advocacy, because that's type of spiritual lawyer warfare.
Oh yeah.
Is so much greater than a courtroom.
Yes.
So.
And my uncle is a pastor, and I admire so much his work. Just because I just don't know where the strength comes from. You know, it requires so much of you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I've asked him sometimes, like, where did you get your strength from?
Yes.
Right? When there's some times that you're so depleted that, and you have to continue to give and to, you know, you are counselor, you're a lawyer, you're an educator, you are, you know, you need to know everything to try to help your congregation.
Yes.
Like it's a lot.
Yes,
it is a lot. It is a lot. So I do admire, you know, your work. Just because I know firsthand, it is not easy.
No.
It is not easy.
No.
So, Mi Dios Nuestro Plan, and the day I sat down, how did they came to be? I mean, I know you have other books too, but I'm really interested because I always say that we might have, you know, many things planned in our lives.
Yep.
But it never happens the way that we think it will happen. Like, for example, many years ago, you know, I was told that I could not have any children. And my husband and I got into the idea we won't have any children. We just, you know, nothing's going to happen. And we went on for 7 years. And out of the sudden, my daughter didn't even have a heartbeat. And I knew I was pregnant. And I always said, I will never own a business. That's not for me. And here I am. So I'm interested to understand from your perspective, right? And writing all these books and helping so many people. Why is it so important to honor those little, I don't know how to call them, signs, I guess, or those little situations that are speaking to you, or how to identify them that are speaking to you that sometimes you just take for granted? Like your situation with your mom, right?
Yep,
She's
yep,
like,
yep.
she was a vessel. Other people were vessels, right? So why is it important for people, for women specifically, to honor those signs, to pay attention to those little situations that happen, right?
Sometimes it's not that you're paying attention. Sometimes it's respect. And the word that you used, honor. I respect my mom. And I know that my mom, my dad, if they give me guidance or counsel, it's from a safe place, and the intention is good. Do I always just react? No, I do not. But I ponder it. And so I respect them greatly, and I honor them. And so because I honor them, I know that it is not whatever guidance I receive or we have received as kids from them and now adults. It is because they have shoes we may not walk in, or if we walk in it, it's to take it to the next dimension. So there's so many that, run away from moments, these little moments, because they have a point to prove. I am my own person is a point to prove.
Right.
I can do it by myself is a point to prove. And we all go through that. And that's okay. It's okay for you to feel that you have a point to prove. It is okay for you to want to be independent and to grow and make your own decisions, your own mistakes. I learned early on that if they fell, I don't have to fall as they fell.
Right.
And if they got up a certain way, I do not have to do the same. If they're telling me I've already done that, do your own, but do it on the heels of what I've already done, then it behooves us to hear them, take it to heart, and also hear God, and be led by the Lord. If they're being led by the Lord, then they're leading you according to the path that you should walk in. It's not always the same. It's not always the case.
Yeah.
It's not a foolproof guide, a methodology, if you will, but it works if you know the heart of those who are guiding you. So for me, it's having the ears to hear.
Yeah.
It's having the ears to hear. The Word of God says pride comes before a fall. And pride is a result of self and ego and wanting to do things your way, the macho mentality. Women have macho mentality too.
Of course, 100%.
And we sometimes don't want to acknowledge that.
Right.
We deflect it onto the men.
Right.
But we get into our way. And for me, I know where I came from.
Yeah.
I know where I am now. I know the struggles I had. I know the struggles I have right now. I know the blood that I have shed.
Yeah.
And I know the bleeding I'm going through right now. And I know that if I've shed blood, there are people out there who are shedding blood as well.
Of course.
And I know if I'm bleeding now, there are people out there who are bleeding right now. And I've always said to the Lord, if there's any way you can use me, use me. I want to help that little girl who felt lost.
Yeah.
I want to help that little girl who felt abandoned, rejected, abused. In my first book, I wrote about that because a memory was jolted back to me that I had suppressed, that I was violated, that I didn't talk about. And my family didn't know anything about it. And it was a family member. And so there are so many little girls and little boys who are now grown men and grown women who are still little girls and little boys.
Exactly.
Who have not faced those areas in their lives. And my willingness to be transparent was scary because I'm a private person.
Right.
Very private. So when I begin to talk, it's because I know the Lord is leading me to open my mouth and speak. Like when I walk out of here, I'm shy, shut down.
Yeah.
I'm here on assignment.
Yeah.
But when I walk out, I am in my reclusive nature,
Right.
and giving permission as I allow. Not to safeguard, but because there's too much I'm focused on
Yeah.
to be distracted. But that came from those moments. That came from me living and experiencing different things in life that I know, and I see so many that when I came in, I mentioned the little girl to
Yeah.
you. I asked the Lord and I said, Lord, I'm being blessed today. How can I be a blessing? And that's an example.
Yeah.
I saw the little girl holding your hand with the brown hair.
Yeah.
I saw her being your lifeline. I
Yeah.
saw the fact that you have gone through suffering as a result of having her. And the fact that you are standing today because of her. And so I could see that. And I know when the Lord reveals it to me, I know that everything that I do is an assignment because of where I have come from. So my writing is about that.
Yeah.
And when I told you and you sat down and I said, you're tired, and you said, oh, and you gave me the of where you know, your last weekend, it's not physical tired.
Yeah.
It's that your journey right now is taking you to directions where you actually have a couple of projects on the table that you want to work on, but they're on pause mode because you are pushing through a routine and a rhythm as opposed to pausing to hear the voice of God, who has already knocked on your door. You even have something written down. There's a booklet that you have written down in, and you have jotted down ideas, and it's not yet come to fruition. That's how the Lord uses me.
Yeah. We take a break. I'm gonna cry.
That's how he uses me. So,
Oh my God. Yeah, no, absolutely.
so my writing, if the Lord revealed it, it is established.
Yeah.
It is established in you. He says, don't be afraid. It's another milestone.
Yeah.
I see you knocking on a door, and the door is going to open. But this door is a big door, and you have questions as to whether or not you should go. Go.
We'll go.
Amen.
We'll go. We'll go, Terika. So many things in my mind right now. You mentioned ego, and you mentioned, a lot of women actually, have that macho mentality. And it's really interesting you mentioned that because we recently read the book Ego is Your Enemy by Ryan Holiday, right? Ryan Holiday. And it didn't occur to me that I have a lot of things to work on because of past trauma, right? And it is so difficult because as women, we are taught that we always have to
Hold it all together.
push, hold it together, and just demonstrate that we can do it, right? Simply, in simple words, we need to be more than, right? And it's interesting that you mentioned that because when I've been doing a lot of internal work, right? And therapy and working through those traumas. And I had a lot of I admired your relationship with your mother, because I had a lot of anger with my mom, right? It took me a long time to kind of get over that, and to forgive myself. I didn't need to forgive her. She did the best that she could with the tools that she had, but I needed to learn how to forgive myself. And the more I've talk about these things openly, the more I understand there is a lot of different people with the same type of issue, maybe not the same problem or the same trauma, but there exists, right? So it exists. So in your writing, when you sit down and you write all these books, and you go out there and you help women that comes in all shapes, colors, but I feel like the Latino women, we are like 20 years behind on acknowledging that we don't need to be all these things that society expects us to be. In some countries it's worse than others, because the society has not let them become anything else. So what is your intentionality with your work? Why should we pay attention to your books, to what you are putting out there? How we as Latinas, right, can get out of that shell. Those are like 5 questions in one.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, that's fine, because it's not just Latinas.
Yeah.
It is humanity in general. The first book, Except the Lord, when God became the builder, I wrote when I was going through a perfect storm. Have you watched the movie The Perfect Storm?
Yes.
You do not come out alive of a perfect storm. And perfect storm is the place where suicides take place, homicides take place, addictions take place. Anything that's self-afflicting can take place in a perfect storm. And so I was in a place of a perfect storm where everything, my daughter is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
I adopted her when she was 15, and I almost lost her because I was in a perfect storm. And ministry can place you in a storm if you give it permission to, that you can forget your responsibility. And so I wrote in that book the importance of going back to basics, and just letting God build. Let God build, let him build. Because, and for some who do not know God for themselves, that's a tough one. Well, how do I let God build if I don't even know him? I don't even go to church. How can I let God build? I don't even believe in God. How can I let God build? And so in the book I said, well, find what it is that helps you to get to that place,
Right.
where you can say, all right, this is not about me. Accept what you did. But at the same time, let go of what? Let go of it to allow yourself to rise up out of the ashes. And so in there, I shared a poem that I wrote in my dissertation about who am I? Women, men are struggling to find out who they are. And that's been my ongoing question, going back to me coming to this country, low self-esteem. For many years, I had very low self-esteem, extremely low. I wouldn't look in the mirror. I thought myself to be the ugliest person, because I was told that so many times. Kids are cruel, right?
Right.
They kids are cruel. And when you
are.
migrate to this country, and they remind you that you're not from here. And so I grew up with that. I had my parents that loved the Jamaican way.
Right.
That's a whole nother podcast. I had
Love looks very different.
it looks very different
country.
per country, but I knew that they loved me, and they loved me greatly. But I was the one always picked on, if
Yeah.
you will, the underdog. So my esteem was already low. And then now dealing with looking in the mirror and seeing Grape Ape, because that's what I was called.
Wow.
King Kong, that's who I was called. Ugly this. I mean, the name, the uglies, and I was Ugly Duckling, and just name it. That was me. So I grew up believing that. And when I was going through my storm, I was reminded. That's when I realized I got to this place because someone placed me there. You are in a place because someone places you there, consciously or subconsciously. And in my case, I was violated. I was probably 6 years old, and it was a family member, and it was blocked. And he's no longer alive. I told my parents, I told my sister, my siblings, but mostly my sister, who's the eldest. And she cried. She said, I should have been there to protect you. I was laying in bed. I was in a room. You guys were in the other room. You guys were watching TV or what have you. It was in Jamaica. And who talks about that anyway? Yeah. And I was asleep. So I understand walking and living in silence. And then when you finally break through it, well, why are you so sad? My parents thought I had a problem. They thought that I had a mental issue because I would not speak growing up. But it was because I went into a cocoon.
Right.
Latinos, when they come to this country, or immigrants in general, in the educational system, they go through what's called a silent period. And the silent period, and I would say Jamaicans as well, islanders, the silent period is where you enter the school system, but because of your cultural background and your linguistic skills or lack thereof, you do not speak.
Right.
So I have encountered a lot who are very educated, but they are silent because they are intimidated by their now community,
Of course.
learning environment. And that was
Of
me
course.
for so many years. And so my insecurity came from there. I did not know. My lack of sense of self came from there. I did not know. Inferiority complex came from there. And silent anger came from there. And so when I wrote that book, a lot came out that I had buried. And I have since then found that those who have read the book, they've been ministered to. As a result, it wasn't my best writing, but it was my words. And so I realizing my ability to help is by being transparent.
Your voice.
My voice. And so since I think that was in 2014, 2015, when that book came out, I've seen a lot of lives. Women, men who have been molested, who have been treated poorly, who have gone through low self-esteem, who are Latina or non-Latina, immigrant or non-immigrant, who said, thank you. I read your book and I could identify here. I can identify here. I can identify here. You're a doctor and you're being so transparent. You're a pastor and you're being so transparent. I look at you and I wouldn't believe that you were that strong or that weak or that. There's so many things that your image is not who you are.
Right. It's assumed.
It's assumed until you open up.
Exactly.
And then, so I have a couple books in between, but then this book is about me stopping the train in part.
Yep.
And saying to the Lord, I need a plan. I need something where I'm not adopting someone else's agenda, but I want your agenda for me.
Yeah.
I want my plan to reflect what you put inside of my heart, whether it's for eating, whether it's for studying, whether it's for work, for finances, or what have you. And you'll find that of those 6, there are areas that you do struggle in, and you will continue to struggle in. God knows you will.
Yeah.
But if you just start,
Just get
that
started.
book is just about starting.
No, I love it. It says here, comida, ejercicio, descanso, estudiar, orar, trabajar, y es una balanza, ¿no?
Yes.
It's what we struggle with
Yes.
on a daily basis.
Yes.
It's balancing things.
It's balancing thing and not wanting to do all of it, to be able to understand that it's okay if you just do one.
Yeah.
Choose. My biggest those are all challenges for me.
Yes.
They all are.
Yes.
The food is the first one. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Not because I eat a lot.
Yeah.
My plan with God is help me to eat.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I eat too much.
No, my plan with God. What time is it right now? It's 11:44.
Yeah.
Ask me if I've had anything to eat.
Neither have I.
And that is a problem.
That's a problem.
Because then it affects your metabolism.
Yep.
It affects your day. It affects your it affects your mood. It affects everything.
Everything.
Right?
Everything.
So why is it a problem? Why is it so difficult?
It's like giving yourself permission to do these things.
Yes.
Right? Like last night I was exhausted and I had so much to catch up on, but literally at 7:45 I remember I was reading something and I remember telling my husband, like, I don't even know what I'm reading.
Yes.
Like, it's like I forgot how to read because my body and my brain were so tired.
And it wasn't time to read.
Yeah, and at 8 o'clock, I was like, I told my daughter, go take a shower. And I told my husband, can you just bring me a snack or something from the kitchen because I'm still hungry. And by the time that she took a shower and he went downstairs 10 minutes, I was passed out.
Yeah.
And I, went to bed with my clothes on. He only took like my shoes off. And I woke up this morning. That's it. That's all I remember.
Yep.
Sometimes you just have to give yourself permission to just leave everything and take care of yourself. And we're horrible at that.
We are terrible.
Yes.
That the intentionality of that book is accept your imperfection. See your flaws, that they're real.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many degrees you may have under your belt. You still have things you need to work out.
Right.
And take one at a time. And do a plan. And revise your plan, even if it takes you a year to do so.
Right.
But do it until it becomes your nature. Consistency. So I have to confess, I'm eating better. It's just today
it's consistency. No, it's so funny because we have a meeting with our team at 9 a.m. every single day. And there's 3 things we talk about. One is consistency. 2, efficiency, and 3, managing your time and putting the energy, your best energy at the best times.
Yep.
But it's like, preaching to the choir because sometimes we fail to do so. And it's like, a quick reminder that we also have to do these things, right? It's not just about teaching them or telling people that they have to do it, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in things that we ourselves forget. So for me, what works is I put everything on the calendar. Like, eat this, lunchtime, like dinner, turn off your phone.
Do you do it?
It is horrible. Yes.
Good for you.
Yes. Except for the mornings.
Yes.
I have an issue with the mornings.
Yes.
I am getting used to eat earlier. But my issue is like if I eat so early, I get like stomach ache for some reason.
Yes.
Because my body is not used to it. But I'm making small changes. Like this morning I ate a small yogurt, like a parfait.
That's perfect.
And I was like, this is enough.
Yes.
This is enough. This will sustain me till like 12 or 1 o'clock, but it's just those small habits, small changes.
Yes.
And those are the ones that take the longest.
Yes.
Because I feel like other big things, it's easier for me at least. But those little small things are so hard to change. But it's about consistency.
It is about consistency. And for me, I started making una batida in the mornings. So I did yesterday, but I did not. So I brought with me my juice because I juice as well.
Good.
So I do have that, but it is that intentionality.
Right.
So my God, our plan is everything you do, God help me. Help me with whether it is just to plan out the day.
Yeah.
Just remind me I need to eat. I do not write it down on a calendar like you do.
I have to.
And God bless you for that calendar. I have human calendars.
Yes.
Did you eat yet? I'm sending someone to get you food.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they hold me accountable, because I have the team. I have those who hold me accountable.
Good.
Which I appreciate. And that's another thing. It talks about getting an accountability partner. Having someone who can remind you, stop,
Yes.
sit, whether it's to rest 5 minutes, eat, or
Right.
just be still in his presence.
Fantastic. So tell me about the new book, The Day I Sat Down.
Okay. So that is exercise.
This is an
That's you
exercise
do it.
book.
That's you do the work.
I'm going to do it.
But this
I'm gonna
one,
do it.
The Day I Sat Down,
Yep.
is the day I SIT,
Okay.
seated intentionally and timing.
Okay.
And it is sitting down is not sitting on the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting down is taking an inventory
Okay.
and understanding where you are now in your life after you've done everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a step back and do that inventory. When you were talking about your mom and you, I thought of that book. Because in the back of the book, every chapter has questions that you need to inventory on. And you need to go dig up your history
Love it.
and understand why particular patterns are happening in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this book while spending time with my parents. My dad is going through a health issue right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gave me a chance to sit and take a step back from everything. So sitting down is also doing that, taking a step back.
Mm-hmm.
And it is letting you understand that sometimes we go on a wild goose journey or chase after the things we start, not the plan that God has placed before you.
Mm-hmm.
So it emphasizes your position, it emphasizes your posture, and it emphasizes God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're going through the book, each chapter takes you to a different page of your book. One of the things in Revelations, it says that, and the books were opened, and the book of life. We have our book. So our accountability is to that book, not the book of life. Why we were sent here on earth. And a lot of times we are out of our posture because we're not falling in alignment with what we were sent here to do.
Understood.
This podcast is about part of what you were sent here to do, but it's so much greater. And so what is that? What is that TV show, image, persona that you see as you address Latina women across the globe? What does that look like? So the day I sat down is talking about that.
Amazing.
And timing, the part of the timing that has given me a pause is either you make a decision for the timing or God will give you the timing. If you don't make a decision for the timing and he gives it to you, oftentimes you lose before you gain.
Interesting.
Because of my dad's situation, I had to take time. The train would have kept going.
Right.
But I was forced to stop the train. If you do not take time, it can affect your home. It can affect your marriage.
Yep.
It can affect your every aspect of your life, your health. It can affect it. You will do and not be.
Yeah.
And the day I sat down is forcing you to be and not do.
How can women or anyone, right, can identify when it's time to stop?
I remember going to the Pastors and Leaders Conference years ago, and Paula White was speaking. And she was going through a perfect storm at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget this analogy. I do not follow her per se, but that analogy stuck with me. It was during the time of her divorce. And there were things happening in her marriage that were going on for years. But there were also things happening in the church that were going on for years. And she just kept going and kept going and kept going. She was losing her husband, not realizing it, losing the ministry, losing herself and not realizing it. And the analogy she gave was she took her husband into a room and she blindfolded, I'm not remembering if it was herself or blindfolded him. And she spun him around. It was him. Spun him around with the lights off.
Mm-hmm.
Said, now find the door. And she told him, that's where I have been for years. I'm doing, but I'm in a dark room with blindfolds, being spun around, and I can't find the door out. When you get to a place in life where you're spinning in a dark room and you cannot find the door, it's time to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to stop the train. There is still time to save some things.
Mm-hmm.
And that example from her
Yeah.
marked me in many ways.
Yeah.
Then I went to another conference, and there was a woman, and she was speaking on preparing to go to a conference. She was going to be a speaker. And she found herself paralyzed, just stuck.
Mm.
And for close to a year, she was gone. She was lost. She was completely blank because she was doing so much, and all for good.
Yeah.
Ministry, women, because her ministry in particular is women, and in everything she was doing, she lost herself. And she was sharing her testimony that her and her husband went to a retreat home, and she would just sit on the porch and look out at the leaves. It was fall. Look out at the leaves, as she described the colors. And what kept her was just her faith. She lost herself in one sense, but God was always present in her life. And that's what gave her an opportunity to get back up, but with intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
I have found myself there.
Mm-hmm.
I have found myself in between Paula White
Yeah.
story and this story, where I have now made some decisions that I need to stop the train.
Yeah.
And I want to help others stop their train.
Mm-hmm.
For that book, I coach people with that. I do groups
Mm-hmm.
and get people in. I'm not the expert in all of those. I get the experts in. For this one, I plan on being the one to guide people through.
Yeah.
Because the greatest catastrophe, I believe, is one who can't see that the train is about to crash.
Yeah. Sometimes we are so in it that
Yes.
we can identify it. But you mentioned something really important, which is not just the self-accountability, but intentionality.
Yes.
And that's something that I think for the past 4 years, it's been very present for me. Back at the beginning of the conversation, right, you talked about, either, what was the word that you used? It was cultural...
acculturation or
Acculturation
assimilation.
or assimilation.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
did the opposite. I did assimilation,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So I became what I needed to become in order to survive,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And for the past 4 years, I've shifted, right?
Yes, mhm.
I shift because I found myself so lost that
Mhm.
I did not even know,
Mhm.
like, who I was,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
What I was doing.
Mhm.
Like, the moment I found myself alone. I quit my job. I had no plan whatsoever. I just knew that I needed to stop right then and there, and I needed to take the reins back in my life, because everything I was doing for everybody else, but not for me. And I was exhausted. I was exhausted. And intentionality, I think, is something that has, I wouldn't say saved me, but I will say it has given me purpose.
Yep.
Like, these podcasts started with the intentionality of learning from other women. I started consulting with business owners with the intentionality of wanting to build something that help people and that can give me the satisfaction of continuing enjoying something that I really love to do, and I love my industry, and that's not something that a lot of people can say. A lot of people, it's a job. For me, it's not. For me, it's something I love doing, really and honestly. Every time I talk to someone, there is an intention there, and I've also learned, more importantly, how to say no.
That's important.
Before I will say yes to everyone, and now, if your intentions, your values, whatever you're doing does not match where I'm at, unfortunately, that's not a path that can be walked together. Because it can derail me from what my purpose is, what my intention is. And I think it's very powerful to realize that intentionality, like understand that intentionality, right? And it's funny, because when you try to teach these to other people, it's intriguing, and I feel that unless you have gone through something, it is difficult to understand. Have you had that experience where you're talking about using all these tools to create this path, this supporting system around you that some cannot understand what it is?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes it's not that they cannot, it's that they choose not to.
Interesting.
Everyone has a journey.
That's true.
And there's not one person on planet Earth that has not fallen. There is not one person on planet Earth that has not gone through storms.
Right.
There is not one person on planet Earth who has not had a moment of having to look up and cry out.
Right.
Some cry out to God, some cry out to a higher being, some cry out to a rock, some cry out to a tree, but they cry out to something.
But they cry out. True.
You know what I mean?
True.
And so it's an honesty factor. It is, are you willing to be real with yourself?
Right.
Are you willing to accept and understand the fact that you are in a season?
Yeah. And experience the pain.
You experience the pain. Part of the reason why many people do not heal is because they won't bleed. And so if you choose not to bleed, you will not heal. But bleeding exposes you.
Yes.
Bleeding makes you vulnerable. Bleeding puts you under the spotlight, but under major ridicule. It's humiliating, but it's necessary in order for you. Jesus did not ascend until he bled. He did not ascend until he bled. And so for us, we have to be willing to bleed if we want promotion. Promotion in our personal life, in our spiritual, in any area of our lives. We have to be willing to say, okay, God, I can't. I can't. Those words, I can't or I cannot, to be grammatically correct. If you're willing to say that, it puts you in, that is bleeding. That by itself is bleeding. It's you saying, I can do a lot of things, but I cannot do this. Because of this.
Accepting.
Help me.
Accepting help.
accepting help.
Amazing. Well, Terika, I really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story, for sharing your wisdom.
Amen.
You know, I shed a tear here and there. It's always very emotional to have so much power, you know, sitting next to you. So thank you for coming here today. Before we go, tell us a little bit about your launch of the book and where they can find you, how they can get in touch. What is that we're going to experience and see from you?
Wonderful. The book it's live. The English version is live on Amazon. But I would prefer if the viewers out there, and yourself included, and you too, Matthias, all those for girls, for women, not the book. The book is for everyone. But the Hannah Conference, I have an annual Hannah Conference for women. It is May 16th and 17th, and it will be held in Lawrence, Mass. And I will be doing the book launch there.
Fantastic.
And book signings. So you're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
And be a part of it. We have great speakers who are coming in town, but one of the workshops will be the book launch. I'm excited. You can locate the book on Amazon. Spanish will be live soon. El día que yo me senté. Will be live, and again, you can purchase it there. I'm also open to invitations to go and do book talks and book signing elsewhere.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it. This is another amazing episode of Transcend with M, and we hope to see you next time.
Thank you.
Oh, that was